I'm going to check in now. Hi, Fluffles. Let's have a look over here. All right, it is Christmas Eve in certain parts of the world. 24th of December. Other places, they don't really celebrate this thing, but it's kind of an important day for a lot of people. Hi, Fluffles. Yeah, I wasn't going to do readings tonight. I'm very tired, but I think I can squeeze it in. I'm very late. I was very tired, so I took a nap, and sometimes that's the worst thing you could do. But anyway, we're here. It's probably going to be too late for people on the East Coast or some other parts of the world. But anyway, I wanted to share a few things and kind of go from there. Let me see. How can we do this? There we are. Hi, Fluffles. I hope you're okay. I'm really not expecting anybody to be here, but this is by far my favorite way to record any kind of content. It's whenever I try to do pre-recorded content, YouTube screws with the loading so much that it's not even worth doing. It's ridiculous. But this way, at least they don't block me so much. I just had more videos cut, deleted, demonetized, and it's it's kind of ridiculous. Ridiculous, really. Home and Alone. Isn't there a movie about that? Talking about movies, I was just chilling yesterday. I had a little bit of time. Ended up watching a movie called Hereafter. It's about the hereafter. It was made in 2010. It originally was inspired by the Phuket tsunami disaster of 2004, where thousands of people were killed from the tsunami. Anyway, it was a beautifully written story about weaving different people's lives from across the world and how they all intercepted at this one point and at the very near end of the movie. In the background, of course, there's the theme of the hereafter and talking to dead people and psychic mediumship and so on. You saw the movie? Oh, then you can relate. Well, I saw it in around 2010, 2011 when it came out. I was living in Los Angeles. You know, I had my Hollywood movie, TV life, living on the beach, living the life, man. And Netflix was, I believe, still very new at the time, Netflix streaming. Or maybe I rented it or something, I don't know. But, I think Blockbuster was already dead by then. So I watched the movie back then, and I was very moved by the movie. This time I watched it, and I realized, wow, I hardly remembered any of the movie. And it was an amazing experience because there were so many new layers of experience that I didn't recall from earlier. Obviously, on the first time seeing it, I got the main gist of it. But during this viewing of the movie, I had to stop and pause many times to recount some of my own parallel experience in the world of psychic mediumship. It was very, very uncanny. I had stories about drowning in the ocean and being rescued. That's the tsunami part of the story from the girl. I had stories about psychic mediumship, like where Matt Damon struggles with the so-called curse of being a psychic medium. So I can relate to that and how it can really mess with your relationships in a three-dimensional world. And then, well, there were other elements as well. I can't remember all the details, but I was just pressing the pause button, pause. Oh my God, this reminds me of this. Oh my God, this reminds me of that. And I mean, I could have written the movie if I had the imagination. Anyway, I just wanted to share that. I remember there was a period of time where Hollywood was making all sorts of movies associated with, you know, 5th, 11th, 7th dimensions and everything. I think there was a movie called Michael, a movie called Ghost, a movie called Powder, a movie called The Lovely Bones, a movie with Robin Williams called, what was it? Anyway, it was a very magical, beautiful movie with Robin Williams. Anyway, so there we go. I saw a movie. I'm just sharing my experience. Let me go over here for a second. So I have not made an astrodoodle for today. Let me just get a notepad so I can make some very sketchy stuff here. Very sketchy things. This is for TarotLumination, 24th December 2023. And there is our traditional chart thingamajig. Hey Fluffles, since it's just you and me and it's very quiet, I think I'll have enough energy to give you a mini reading, okay? My throat is not good. I'm very tired. But I felt very strange not doing a video on a Sunday night. I just had a well wishes from Mr. Gregory Ross. Thank you very much. Anyway, here we are with Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Okay, so as you know, if you've been with my channel for a while, I rant on and on about the global financial system, about the implosions and the chaos that's going around and all the corruption with politics and, you know, the wars and all those things. And so anyway, we still have a strong opposition here going on between Uranus in Taurus and Venus in Scorpio. And there's other stuff. I'm just pointing out very, very basic things. Okay. Hello, Diana. I'm just doing this Sunday night thing. I'm very late. I had a nap. I was very tired. And it's the worst thing I could have done. And now I'm just on survival mode. And I was planning to say, like, oh, Merry Christmas, everybody, but I'm not in the greatest shape. But anyway, I felt weird, like if I didn't show up, that would be awful. So anyway, with Venus opposing Uranus, Venus in the 8th house opposing Uranus in the 2nd house, there's still some very severe things going on in the global financial system. But with the harmonious aspects that are also going on, it makes it look like, in fact, everything's so fine. It's not so bad. Oh gosh, here we go. It's my sinuses. Damn, stay there, people. I'm sorry. This is going to be a noisy mess. Okay. It's so hard to breathe. I had a great time yesterday on Saturday because there was a lot of rain here. Well, not a lot. This is Las Vegas, and if it drizzles, that's a huge, big deal for me. But anyway, it took the humidity levels up to 80%. It cleared up a lot of the pollution and yucky stuff in the air, and I could actually breathe for part of the day. Helping your son move to Utah. Oh, that's interesting. Utah is very landlocked. I've never been up there. I have a friend who lives up there in Park City, Utah now. Anyway, there's some the financial aspects are still very severe right now. We had the Scorpio-Taurus eclipse months and months ago, and it's only just starting to play out on the global scale that I've been talking about for, well, years, frankly. And because that's probably the most important sentence in this book, is where I mentioned near the end about the total financial collapse of the global financial system. There you go. Live, real time. Well, sorry, God, man. Excuse me, I've got more. Excuse me. Oh dear, oh dear. Best if I do this off camera, isn't it? So there's all sorts of trines and sextiles to this aspect at the moment. So it makes it feel everything's not so bad. Everything's fine. What is everybody worried about? Venus is there. Uranus is being stabilized by Venus. It's okay. Everything's going to be fine. No, sorry, it's not. Things are very, very dire. I just wanted to point that out. It's affecting the global financial political system and stability worldwide. It's part of the fermentation of World War III, okay? And it's not just the American thing collapsing. It's going to be a global financial collapse. Now, of course, it's not going to happen just like that. It's going to extend over a period of time. Hold on. I'm just pointing out a couple of things tonight that really, really concern me, and everybody should know, everybody needs to know. Also, the other thing that's happening right now, of course, still, we have this fierce contention here. Okay, we've got, actually it spreads out quite a bit. We've got Sun over in Capricorn, Mars in Sagittarius, and Mercury retrograding into Sagittarius over here. But effectively, in a nutshell, what's happening is there's Neptune, okay? There's okay, over with this axis here, I pointed it out the other day, we've got a very, very severe, harsh, let's say, spotlight onto the global corruption. One of the most obvious examples is what's happening in the United States with this current administration. It's being revealed, you've got to reveal it to heal it, it's being revealed about the massive systemic corruption of the whole of Washington. It isn't just Democrats, it isn't just Grandpa Joe, it's the whole of Washington, the whole of the military industrial complex, the medical industrial complex, the welfare industrial complex, it's a mess, okay? But in particular, okay, I don't want to stir things up politically, but this spotlight here, it's like three massive floodlights. You know when you have those crime movies, crime reenactment things, and the cops catch the bad guy, and they're doing it at nighttime, and they got all the helicopters, all the squad cars and everything shining their lights on the bad guy. The bad guys are trapped. The bad guys, basically Grandpa Joe and his family, and a whole bunch of other people in the world of global elites, they're being outed, okay? Oh, excuse me. Anyway, the spotlight is not going to go away. It's going to get more extreme and more severe. And this is going to extend early into over the rest of the holiday weekend and into next year, early next year, where it's going to be very severe on the Biden family and their criminal network. It's being outed. You got to reveal it to heal it. So anyway, there's that stuff going on. This is a big opposition here. This is a big, fat, hard square over here. Very, very painful. Very, very difficult. Now, you know, I don't make this stuff up, okay? I'm just going to do a couple of examples here. See if I can do this I'm not going to be here long tonight, as you've probably figured out. Okay, let me see if I can do this, what I got set up here. Okay, I like to visit these folks because they get data from, excuse me. This is just one of several. There's not a lot of this stuff out there available, but this place is, I'm surprised they're even on YouTube at all. It's mind-boggling to me because they are deep inside China, and they have a network inside China which feeds information from inside China to outside of China, and it is translated into English. And if I just basically every video here, oh, sorry, excuse me, sorry, shut up. Basically, the reason I know it sounds all like doom and gloom, but basically everything in here is a very deep dive into what is not working in China. The reason I focus on this is because everything that is presented as working with China is a complete, utter lie. The CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, is in very, very deep trouble because their whole country is in very deep trouble. The deeper the trouble it goes, the more and more flamboyant and outrageous and aggressive the outward image is presented to the world. To make it look like China is going to take over the world and we are the real bosses of the world and everybody needs to bow down to Mr. Ping. Okay? Anyway, it's not happening. Here's just a tiny example of little titles. I'll just read them because you probably can't see them from here. Massive exodus from China, even during the ice and snow, as thousands and thousands of people are trying to get visas to get into America. The Temu website trying to sell junk stuff in America is not sustainable and it's going to collapse, okay? 3 huge explosions in Beijing, okay? The economics of the CCP is perpetrating massive scams on the Chinese people to suck money into the CCP wallet. A lot of people live on less than $13 a week. Millions, hundreds of millions of people, okay? Massive snowstorms up in the Northeast. Massive earthquakes. Three Gorges Dam is now starting to show signs of failure. The military is very, very compromised. Where's the one? Anyway, there's other places that I visit. I just wanted to show this to you because a lot of this stuff is from real people. It's not what I would call manufactured news. This is stuff that's gathered by real people. That's why I trust it. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you is, okay, give me a moment here. I've got to scroll through my materials. Okay, here's my fellow. Okay, now here's a fellow that I respect him very, very highly. He's got 500,000 subscribers. He has, I would say, the deepest understanding of the American banking system, including deep into the Federal Reserve, the Federal U.S. Treasury, the White House, all the military, medical, welfare, industrial complexes, and how it actually works as opposed to how we are told it works. Anyway, there's some amazing content here, but I'm bringing up this one because it's extremely disturbing and it kind of brings us up to date after years of predicting the various financial implosions that have been happening in lockstep with the astrology over the last few years. So, you know, there's lots of financial channels on YouTube, all right? I'm not one of them because I don't do finance, okay? But I do interpretations and correlations to the astrology. So here's this fellow I really respect. I'll show you the other guy in a minute, but you need to see this particular video. Well, I'm going to show it to you. Wait for the advertisement to stop. Here we go. Okay, skip that.
The Federal Reserve and Jerome Powell just shocked the world. I'm going to reveal what they did and why they did it in 3 simple, fast steps.
I'm going to rewind that and turn up the volume. Hold on a second.
The mysterious beige book. That's actually step number 2. We're going to get into the...
I'm going to rewind it. I'm going to reload it. Give me a second. Well, I'll just read the title here. The Fed just shocked the world, but you're not going to hear about it anywhere, okay? I'm going to go pretty much to the end of the video. And he's talking about all these leading indicators, the different behind-the-scenes things, okay? I want to show you something here. There's this thing. It's called Bank Term Funding Program. It was initiated in March of 2023. What does this mean? Well, let me tell you. The Bank Term Refunding Program. Let me go over here. Give me a second. The Bank Term Funding Program is essentially another, let's say, mysterious manipulation as a way to bail out Wall Street and the big banks, okay? Oh, God, my allergies, man, they're back. Excuse me, sorry. Oh, God, they come and go. I can never predict them. Anyway, it's been happening for a long time. The Fed is printing money. The Treasury is spending money, raising taxes. The White House is spending trillions. It's insanity. And it's not sustainable. And so behind the scenes, deep behind the scenes, between all the global central banks, they're trying to coordinate an orchestrated implosion to basically wipe out all the debt and trash everybody and everything so they can restart the whole thing again. It's diabolical, but they don't have an option because they've already taken this thing to the end of the cliff and there's nowhere left to go. They've sort of been here in what other pundits would say many times. There are people like Peter Schiff who said, oh, we're right, it's going to collapse tomorrow or the day after, and then gold is going to go to $30,000. No. They're not. They don't know anything about the astrology or Pluto. All right. Oh, God. Excuse me. Anyway, this thing is very, very new. It's the Bank Term Funding Program. It's only been around, 6, 7 months, 9 months or something. It never existed until March 2023. We've already heard of bank bailouts. We know about printing money as a way to make it look like everything's going great and to juice up the economy and convince the population that everything's going to be fine. Inflation's just a tiny problem. Interest rates, it's not that bad. Suck it up, people. Take on 2 or 3 jobs, Just do what you gotta do. Keep spending as much money as you possibly can with as much debt as possible. Haven't you learned by now that this is how it works? You're a debt cow. Get on with your job. Be the debt cow that you were born to be. Well, it's kind of imploding. And they all know it. The big banks know it. And they know that there's no reset button. Not technically. So they have to live through the demolition and then come out the other side. It's a very, very plutonic phenomenon. Birth, creation, death. So, the bank... Let me go back over here. Let me go back here. Okay. This is very important stuff because this is affecting the whole world, but you just can't see it, okay? No one, you're not going to see this in mainstream anywhere. Let me go.
Also known as the Fed's bailout of the entire banking system in March of 2023. Now, I must admit, this is probably the easiest.
Now, the thing about the bank refunding program is that it is basically the last gasp of trying to bail out the big banks. As you know, earlier we had the SVB collapse and a few other banks imploding, the biggest collapses ever. And then, poof, the Fed steps in, magically just erases all the problems, sucks up all the problems. Well, over here, I don't know if you can see this. We're basically setting the stage for the world banking crisis. This chart here goes back for years, but it's a pointless chart because really the BTFP never existed until a few months ago. So what's the point in making a chart look like this? But that's what the Feds did. Now this chart here, this little line that goes up vertical here, is basically what he's saying is that these were the minute it was announced in March, the Fed said, okay, all you big banks, you know, Chase, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, whatever the other big monster banks are, we're going to basically suck up your problems, which is effectively a bailout. And so the bank said, okay, thank you very much. And immediately the bailout went up to $60 billion, just in a matter of days. Then there was a pause, and the bank said, actually, we need more help. I don't know if you can see that here. I don't know, it's hard to show. Sorry. Bank said, we need more help. No, that's not working, is it? It's just your reflections of me. Damn it, I lost it now. I have to go back. There he is. Okay.
Banking system in March of 2023. Now, I must admit, this is probably the easiest chart I've ever drawn on the whiteboard. Because if you go back...
Okay, let me see. This is from the Fed, okay? From the tip of my finger here to the tip of my finger here, that's $60 billion. And a few months later, we're already over $100 billion in secret bailout to the banks. And we're not even close to covering the liabilities. And this is at the very, very tippy end here. You can't even see it, but it's going vertical, parabolic. And there's nowhere left to go after this. They've already done all the previous bailouts and printing money, but this is the final act of desperation. And eventually, what's going to happen is something that is now officially being coordinated between the global banks and the central banks, is how are we going to coordinate the collapse so that we have a kind of a simultaneous implosion, which is basically like the banks declaring bankruptcy on the whole world. Hello, necessary truth. Hello, Russian thoughtbot. So we're on the way, but that's really more like into 2024. Over here, the last thing I want to point out, this is the global stress point for the whole world. Okay, as of, is it today? Wait a minute, I'm just going to make sure I got this right. Yeah, as of, it's really only a couple of days ago, we are now in the 29th degree, okay? Pluto is here at Pluto is now here at 29 degrees on the cusp of Capricorn into Aquarius. This is a massive, massive global, I don't know what to call it, upheaval. If you think of the Capricorn energy in its healthiest way, that would be excellent management, excellent controls, excellent decision making, excellent executive behavior, excellent corporate protocols, excellent results in manifesting the best things that can happen on earth with the capitalization of human talent, gifts, and resources, and so on. That would be the healthy expression of Pluto in Capricorn for the last 18 years. However, at the moment, we're seeing, in the 29 degree mark, we're seeing the desperation revealed by the worst aspects of behavior of Pluto in Capricorn, which would be basically maniacal dictatorship, gross mismanagement, gross corrupt decision-making, gross executive behavior, corruption beyond description. Okay? Yeah, I've heard of the Deagle report. I can't remember what it is exactly, but it's very revealing. So we're at this point of revelation to the whole world where it's not just about America anymore. Okay? This is the whole world. We are witnessing the whole world and its point of desperation where the pyramids of power, the elites at the very top of the pyramids of power, are fully exposed in their corruption, betrayal, lies, deceit, evil, maniacal lust for power and control and money, which is the worst, unhealthiest, most sick behavior of Pluto in Capricorn. And we're seeing it. It's a slow burn, but eventually you get these tipping points. They call them tipping points, where the slow burn eventually goes doof. So this is where we are right now, and because Pluto moves so slowly, this is going to spread out over months, and eventually we're going to be in 0 degrees Aquarius. Okay? They're almost indistinguishable. Pluto 29 degrees is almost indistinguishable from Pluto in Aquarius 0 degrees to 1 degree. But that's going to spread out over the whole of next year, 2024. Okay? So it's really time to brace yourself, because we're going to see monumental upheavals in society all over the world. We're seeing it already in the United States with the southern border going absolutely berserk in terms of the corruption all over here. It's affecting the whole of the United States, okay? It's a demonic agenda. It's all planned out by these unhealthy folks, okay? Oh, I see what you're saying. Thank you. So anyway, this is all happening real live in real time in our lifetimes. And the reason that this particular transit is so important is because it's so obvious on the worldly terms, in the way the world works, the way that people work across the world in terms of how do we run a society. In a healthy expression, you would have very, very good managerial and so on leadership. We're seeing the worst of it now, Pluto 29 degrees. And starting very, very soon, we're already at the tipping point, but the tipping point actually moves like NT says, very, very slowly. We're at the tipping point. We're going to be seeing global chaos, revolution, upheaval, further degrees of implosion of the global banking system, and whatever that's going to look like. Because the world has never been here before. So I shared with you the things that to me were very, very important today, because I look at a lot of content very quickly to grab the ones that to me are very, very important. I just talked about a global financial system in complete chaos. They're trying to cover it up as though everything's fine. A lot of Americans are completely oblivious, okay? There's the political corruption being unfolded. That's going to be all about the impeachments next year and so on, and the collapse of the American empire and the rebirth of the American empire. That's happening here and so on and so on. And we're going to see it live, real time. I've been doing a lot of homework on my own here, trying to find out in my own little world how I'm going to survive and get through all of this. Because everybody's circumstances are different. I just wanted to share these things, that's all. I think I can put this aside. There's other aspects, of course. We got all the other things we've talked about. I'm not going to talk about them tonight. Oh, where was it? Where was the other thing? Did I have the other thing I was going to share with you? Oh yes, here was the other thing. Okay. The elites hate truth. They hate reality. They hate facts. They prefer to live in their elite bubble of manufactured reality, including artificial intelligence, euthanasia programs, eugenics programs to obliterate 7 billion people because they're technocrats. A lot of them, I believe, are sociopaths, psychopaths, YOLOs. You only live once. In other words, we might as well just do whatever we want in this lifetime, get as much as you can. And if you want to commit evil, so what? Have fun. It's great. It's really fun and exciting to rape and pillage people financially, physically, emotionally, globally, economically, everything. It's so much fun. It's better than being a good person, which is really boring and tedious and hard work. It requires responsibility and humility and surrender. Screw all that. I'm into power and control and money. Anyway, some people are not aware that they are, I would say, depressed by what's going on because they can feel it here, but they can't put it in words. It's a very, very deep-seated phenomenon. I'm trying to bring light to it so that you are not a victim. So, another thing about information sources, I try to get what I consider legitimate, honest, reliable, factual, truthful sources of information. So, I have a monthly subscription to the Epoch Times, the oldest news source in the world. And that costs money every month. Tucker Carlson has a new network. I trust him. I believe personally that he speaks to truth. And that's very, very difficult for the elites. That's why they kicked him out of the Fox network. He has now created his own network, TCN, the Tucker Carlson Network. It's $9 a month. Okay, there's other places, networks that I really, really like. There's the Newsmax network. They are very conservative. Let's just call it out. Let's just say what it is. And I can relate to that because I cannot relate to the stuff that comes out of NBC, MSNBC, CNN, ABC, all of those. I mean, they mean well in their own way, and they deliver a lot of stuff when it comes to sports and weather and stuff like, what's the latest movie to see, things like that. But the rest of it, all the political propaganda and stuff, I can't stomach it. It makes my stomach churn. It's so bizarre, and a lot of people aren't even aware that they're consuming poison. But anyway, back to these subscriptions. They add up. And on my budget, I work on a micro budget, and I can't afford them. And so I have to pick and choose. So I'm sticking with the Epoch Times, and I'm going to try and cherry pick ways to get inside the Tucker Carlson network and get some really substantial content. But he's a smart guy, and they've pretty much locked it up. You know, a lot of things are done by subscription these days, and I would love to. There's about 5 things I would love to have as a subscription, but it's just out of reach. So I have to be kind of ruthless on what I can, where I can, what I can choose. Fluffles, I don't know if you're still there. Hello, Maria. Hello, Russian Thought Bot. I know you're terrified of readings now. We're not going to do that for you. Don't worry about it. Oh, look here. Look who's here. Hi, Bubba. He's just verifying my astrology reports, making sure they're all okay. So, Fluffles, if it's okay, I'll probably do a video tomorrow, or more likely tomorrow, the night after. I wanted to say hello and happy holidays and everything to everybody. Share some of my global geopolitical perspectives without getting censored. It's horrible when I open up my YouTube channel and I see all sorts of red alerts and like, warning, warning, warning. You have another video that is being removed and demonetized, and you're being penalized, and so on. It's just like, it gets really depressing after a while. But I'm going to keep going. Anyway, for Fluffles, Fluffles, I don't know if you're still there or if you're busy, but I'm not going to do the readings tonight. I still owe you one. I owe another reading to Esther as well, okay? I don't know if Esther got here, but anyway, it's very, very late for a lot of people, so I'm going to wish you all the very best. Have a wonderful evening and a good morning. Hello to folks in Australia and New Zealand and so on, okay? Okay. Thanks, Russian Bot. We'll talk later. Okay, we'll figure it out. My voice, my sinuses, they're a mess, so there's no point in me staying here much longer. I am going to officially check out. I wish you all, as they say, a happy holiday. You're not allowed to say Christmas anymore. Sorry about that. It's illegal. Banned. I'll leave this running so you can chat if you want to for a minute or so, but I'm out of here. Okay, bye.